This is MobadeProductions coming at you live. So I have decided to start a YouTube channel so I can put my words onto paper into digital visual cyberspace. So I'll be basing these off of the articles I write for Sloppy Vinyl and my own site Mobade Productions, which is also the handle of my Instagram and Facebook, so follow me in the description below. And let's get to the review. It's time for the highly anticipated review of the release by Kanye West and Kid Cudi for Kids See Ghosts. What a title! Kanye West released this album just a week after his boundary-breaking Ye that I claim to be his greatest work yet, and he has passed this mortal plane of existence. But what I didn't know was what he was gonna hit us with Kids See Ghosts. So everyone has been calling it good, bad, everything in between the lines of the actual meaning. So all these reviewers understand the references, but they're not really piecing the puzzles together. They even sites by major publications, including Rolling Stone, Hip Hop, DX, Fader, Vulture, even on The Guardian. I've seen that people are summarizing the article as a psychedelic return to godlike power. And even though that is an excellent review and a nice great take on the album, they are missing the central point behind this entire album. So due to the subtle hints in the lyrics, I truly feel that Kanye West is reaching out for someone to finally figure this out, and finally figure this album out, and finally figure the concept behind all of this madness and craziness. And I am the answer to his prayers. So I might be getting a little bit of an ego, but he just released a statement yesterday that the 7-track album was a reference to the 7 deadly sins. So let's get into the actual meaning of this highly interpretive album that eventually strays into clarity. So, what concept does this stray into, you might ask? I can best summarize this album as Kanye West and Kid Cudi take us on a trip through purgatory, living out their last seconds before they die, while trying to balance out their light and dark sides through an introspective reflection of themselves on Judgment Day. And before you can call me high as shit, I am going to go track by track so I can point out all the underlying lyrics, production, and visual content that make all of these references seemingly make sense. So, before even going into this listening party, I thought conceptually about all 3 album releases. I tried to find a connection, and then I looked at the cover art, which is what you should always do, duh! But people didn't. So I'm gonna show you the cover art here right now. With a pink, orange, and blue backdrop, the art piece is done over a mountain landscape with ever-growing trees that is drastically contrasted with Magna-style ghosts that emulate a human, along with larger ghosts simulating the tone of a haunting, which also appears sonically on the album. The record is littered with these themes and concepts that are shown in the artwork. Not only does the cover art give a good first impression, but it sets the scene of a dark but unsuspecting light. So the album starts off with Feel the Love, featuring the one and only Pusha T, Shout Out to Daytona. He delivers the only rap verse on this track, and then Kid Cudi comes in with a synthesized shout with I can still feel the love. And then there is only one Kanye call out on this track, which signifies the end of his breakdown, where he's ready to face his consequences and also his victories for it. It's a short track and it goes right into Fire. So the second track, Fire, opens up with a country southwestern beat as Kanye West and Kid Cudi travel through the desert, asking God to forgive them for their sins, which is highlighted by the lyrics, "It's been so many days I prayed to God, all this pain I couldn't seem to find a way, on a mission living, carry on." So they come together to contemplate all the scars they have left behind their life and wondering if they can be forgiven. But due to the slow pacing of this song, it seems like it's going to be a long, unlikely road to heaven. The third track to this album is entitled Fourth Dimension, and this is where all the central themes come to play and become apparent. So, it samples Louis Prima's What Would Santa Claus Say to add a jazz element to make it effortlessly creepy. And its song acts like a portal through time, calling back to the 1940s, simulating being stuck in time also. This is highlighted by the lyrics on the first verse, might need an intervention for this new dimension. This is the most concept-driven track that highlights the battle between their conflicting egos, causing a complete psychotic hallucination. The devil laughs out to them in the interlude, but since it is only the backtrack, you can see that the devil no longer has control over them, which signifies the end of Kanye's breakdown following Ye. This marks the journey to a new road and open a door to a new tomorrow. But is there another tomorrow? So this is the kicker. Kanye even teases the listeners with, "This is the theme song, Oh Something Wrong." And Kid Cudi finally gives us the missing piece of the puzzle with, "I'll see you in hell." At first, Kids See Ghosts is very hard to depict, but after picking up the references on Fourth Dimension, it becomes a lot clearer. And I don't believe that Kids See Ghosts is a reference to kids actually seeing ghosts. It's not about children seeing ghosts. It's about Kid Cudi seeing outside of himself in his last seconds of life as he contemplates the journey it has taken him. So the fourth track is entitled Free, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. The track opens up with a quote about how to navigate through life. Then, after the quote, Kanye comes in with the lyrics, "I don't feel pain anymore," which further proves that he is dead once again. Littered with Bible references throughout, the production and haunting vocals show he is floating through the clouds just as is pictured on the album cover, transcending space and time. So on the fifth track, Cudi comes back to life with a literal reborn. Once again, a slow-paced track, they are walking along another path, which is highlighted by the lyrics, "Keep moving forward," and as soon as I walk in, I'm like, let's be out. This is similar to the second track, Fire, but instead of a long, hard, winding road, this trip seems a bit smoother. This is the mark of the album, where their light side starts to shine as God judges all the good they have done. But is it enough to rebuke their sins? The sixth track to this album is Kids See Ghosts, and it's also the title track, and once again, it is not referencing children seeing ghosts, but rather Kid Cudi seeing outside of himself during his last moments of life. It's a track that pulled all of the elements of the underlying messages and crafted it into a solo production. This is highlighted by the lyrics, "Sittin' by myself, finding heaven soon," to signify he will be sent to heaven, but is also contrasted by the lyric, "Reaching out, hunting for the truth," to show that he is not entirely certain. The album then closes with a Cudi montage, which actually is built around the guitar riff of Kurt Cobain's Burn the Rain. Kid Cudi calls out to God one last time as he accepts the fact that he did not lead a very ethical life. With one last plead, "Here we go again, God, shine your love on me, save me please." Then it is littered with messages in the chorus to stay strong. Then it repeats until it finally fades out, unaware of their final fate, which ultimately proves that they cannot die. Oh, hey, did you think the review was over? No, it's not. It's Kanye West, Pusha T, and Kid Cudi have just became the new unstoppable trio. Not only were these three albums consistent, they were also connected. Daytona is the reason why Kanye is mad, which includes references to the state of rap currently, end the current state of the world while putting out diss tracks that could even end Drake's career. Hello infrared, hello blackface Drake. One can only handle chaos for so long, and Ye acts like the psychotic story behind the breakdown. Kids See Ghosts acts as the final testament in their last seconds as they contemplate the journey life has taken them, and they finally come to terms with themselves. They reflect if they deserve to be sent to the underworld or to heaven, but due to the tone, production, and lyrical content, it seems like their final fate will be in the hands of Lucifer. For the first time, Kanye West is forced to acknowledge the fact that he is not a god, and in fact a human with the same consequences with every single person on this earth. Essentially having a breakthrough regarding his mental illness, thus revealing the cover art to Ye. Kid Sees Ghosts finally closes the coffin on this compelling, delusional, and malevolent journey. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my album review on Kid See Ghosts. For the full article, the link is in my description over at MobadeProductions. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook under the same name, and remember to subscribe. And we're out. This next track, though, these bars, though, this verse, though, I can still feel. Today, I thought about killing you. I contemplated premeditated murder. The most beautiful thoughts are always beside the darkest.